Our live feed of the small shop here. We call it Let's Build. Small shop, Let's Build. And appreciate you tuning in. Thank you. Today we're going to be laying up some laminate on this melamine over here. So I'll be chatting every now and then, you know, and kind of trying to describe what it's like for me in a small cabinet shop. I can show you how we do things here, and I hope you learn a few tips along the way. And yeah, so with that being said, let's get going. I got to do some moving of some sheets here first to get them out of the way. And to get down to the 3/4 inch melamine here is what we want to lay up on. But I got to put some of these over that way. So I'm going to get rolling. This is how you grab laminate sheets. Grab it in the middle like this. Pick it up. This is a baby sheet. Some of my sheets come another foot wider and 4 foot longer, where they're 5x12s. So one guy can pick them up. You hold it up like this, and then you just kind of balance it carefully. As you can see, it's still a trick. Hope the next one goes better than that. Always a challenge. Don't forget about our tool giveaway, the DeWalt tools. That's going to happen on the 28th of this month. That'd be a Saturday morning. And if you're a subscriber, please send me your postcard with your name and address on it, because that nice package there is going to go somewhere. Could stay in the United States, it could go to Australia, it could go to Germany, it could go, oh, there's a couple other countries there too there we have viewers tuning in. So send it to P.O. Box 100, Cameron, Wisconsin 54822. Attention, John. And at the end of the video today, or the live feed, I'll hold up the address again for you too. But send them in. Looking to send this out to a lucky winner. You can see this here is going to be the countertop color, because we'll be making the countertops here also. So I'm going to set this off to the side somewhere. Small shop. Sometimes we struggle for space. one more. Get out of the way here. Okay, we're getting down there. Now we gotta move a few more things. This is what we call our half-inch melamine. Half-inch melamine, white, two-sided. I'm going to take some of these sheets and stand them up over there because we got to keep digging down. This is where it gets to be a little bit of a challenge. One man, it's we get her though. We'll get her. Four more to go. This is how we get our workout in. Keeps us in shape. I hope my audio was working okay. And I think it is. One more. There. We're making progress here. Here's our 3/4. That's our first sheet we're going to lay up. Now, we got to move that piece of lamb and bring that over here. All right. Now they just get heavier. This is what we call 3/4 inch melamine, white two-sided. And these are all of 100 pounds a sheet, a piece. So they're not light either. But We always seem to get them moved around. What I'm doing here, I'm looking at the crown in the sheet. They all have a crown. Either the hump is up this side or the hump is this way. Now I always want to put my laminate on the hump side, the outside. So this sheet here is like this here. So been doing it this way for years and years, and it works great. Some guys won't look at that, and when you lay up your sheet, and then you cut your doors out of the sheet, and you band up your doors on the edge bander, then your cabinet door could have the crown going the wrong way when it closes on your cabinet. That's what I do not want. I always want that hump out so it fits the top cabinet, the bottom of the cabinet, nice and tight when it closes. So that's why we do that part. And I think I'm going to bring 3 sheets over. And then we'll spray, lay it up, and it will build up 3 high. And then I'll pull this pinch roller out, and I'll show you how that pinch roller will roll it down. So we're going to take another sheet over. Perfect. And we'll get rid of these pieces here. Half a sheet here. Kind of funny, I have a lot of people always ask me, how do you do it, John? And I don't know how to answer that question. I don't know, I guess I just do it. you kind of learn different techniques, how to lift and carry and how to plan forward, and I don't know. But one guy, if you're just starting out your own shop, cabinet shop, one guy can do an awful lot. Believe me. Just takes patience and figure it out, I guess. But let's get this one over there. Yeah, see here I'm checking for that hump also. So these three sheets are all the same. All right. So we got that out of the way. Now we need to grab our wood grain laminate sheet. There. The real tricky part comes in if you've ever glued up laminate in your panels, is trying to lay this sheet down correctly and where it doesn't get stuck on the sheet crooked, because if it gets stuck crooked, you're screwed, basically. So I'll show you what I do when we get to that point. Next up now, what we want to do is blow it off, get all the dust off, any little tiny particles. And that big white tank back there, that's our adhesive we're going to be spraying on. The laminate sheet will get sprayed one direction or the other, doesn't matter. Just so when you spray your panel that you do it the opposite direction as you spray. And then you stick it and keep going from there. But not hard, just gets, you'll see it gets a little tricky when I gotta lay this thing down on those. I got some slip strips back here, what I call little 3/8 half-inch dowels about 4 foot long. I'll lay them all on there. They gotta be cleaned off always too. Because if you get a little tiny chip on the sheet here or on that panel, when you come time to stick it, then you're going to see a bump on your laminate. The experienced guys know all about this. But you guys out there that are learning this, you can do this. It just takes some time and patience. You know, just go at it slow and figure it out little by little. Do little layups at a time. But all right, let's. I'm going to blow this off and get ready to spray. see why I got cardboard on the floor. I don't want this glue on top of my concrete. We used to roll contact cement on with paint rollers way back years ago. And I think some people still do it that way. And you can do it. That works. It's just that you're more susceptible to picking up little debris, chips of some sort that can get on your laminate. But if that's what you have to do, that's fine. It works. I did it for many years like that. Now we're going to pick this up in the middle, get that hump like that. And this is number 1 sheet. This dries really fast. And we're going to blow this off. Blow everything one direction, so if there's any debris on here, it all scoots that way. Just want a good machine. Okay, now we'll spray this one this direction. Sometimes it gets a little tricky here. And this adhesive here is clear. You can buy it in clear and red. So if you want to buy red, then you can really tell where you're laying it down and if you miss the spot. But right now it's a little bit of a cream color, so I can tell exactly where it left off. So this works great. There. And that there. Here's our slip strips. Quite a few from here. Typically what I do, I blew these off last night, but I always, when I grab them, they always kind of rattle them around. It's just dowels, all they are, 1/2-inch dowels. But you don't want anything, any chips or any debris on these either, because it'll stick there or on there, and you'll have problems. So, I know these are clean. Been using these for 35 years. So, not these here, but, well, I take that back. When I first started using slip strips, we had 1/4-inch masonite, ripped in strips about 1.5 inches wide. And we used to lay them down. Well, but 1.5 inch wide masonite and it's rough on the bottom, you're gonna have more of a chance of picking up debris from somewhere in the shop here. A tiny chip is all it takes, and you're gonna have a bump in your laminate. You don't want that. So I switched to these years ago, and they work great. But let's see where we're at here. See, that's ready to go. Doesn't take long. If it doesn't stick to my hand, we're good to go. So we are good to go. in. These first two I kind of, or a few, I'll kind of push down a little bit, so when I lay that sheet on, they don't slide out and then we get into trouble. And I let them hang over the edge here a little bit. But this is how you stick laminate, 4x8 sheets. There. 5 extra. We don't need. Okay, now for the tricky part. Normally I've got 2 people in the shop. And being that I'm solo, been solo for a long time now. And also Mary would come out every once in a while if she is free, or she could grab the end of this sheet. But let's try it. I think we're going to be okay. It's not impossible, but it's touch and go, put it that way. You gotta have some luck on your side when you're doing this by yourself. There, see, one slipped out. I think we're going to be okay. Now we can shuffle it around a little bit, like this. And I'm going to leave it a little bit short on this edge here. So when I grab it with my hand, I'm not, cutting my hand into this laminate. So it's about a 1/4 inch. There, we're centered on here now. We're all centered. So now I'll start pulling these strips out. Now if I had 2 guys or another person, I would have him on that end after I did this part right here. See, I'm rolling it down temporarily. He'd be holding that sheet up, and then I'd pull these out as we go. But we don't have that option. So I'll just slip them out as I go. I'll pull out a few. Now we'll go back and roll it down a little bit. There. You can just crawl right on here. It's not going to go anywhere. Just kind of uniform how I press it down. Okay, now I'm getting closer where I can hold this end up myself, like this, and pull these up. Go that far, and back again. Just like that. You just don't want to forget one in here somewhere. That's why I let them stick out here a little bit. Sometimes it's easy to do. If you got in a hurry, you'll be rolling and all of a sudden you got a great big bump here. Well, that isn't good. Not good at all. Remember, just do it uniform here. Press it down. There, number 1 sheet out of the way. We're only going to do 3. I'll need more, but space, it comes into a workspace option here where if I lay up too many, then I'm just shuffling them around, and I don't want to do that. But. Okay, now we're gonna, this is our pinch roller. It's called an Evans Machinery roller. So I'm gonna push this over this way. Like that. Plug it in here. Okay, now, remember about a week ago or a week and a half ago, we had some videos on building your own sawhorses? Well, whoops, sorry about that. Here's our sawhorses we built. And this is what they were for. So I'm gonna put both of them down there. I gotta check this camera angle here. There we go. And then we're gonna lay a piece of melamine on them. So when that sheet comes through the roller, it'll lay right on top of here. So if I built them correctly, this should work. I think that'll work. We've got about 1 inch to spare in height. So, all right, let's send it through. This is how we roll them, instead of using the J rollers by hand. This is probably the hardest part right here. I should have had one more horse on this end, one more person. Yeah. I'm gonna have to raise this end up somehow with something. What could we use? Try this toolbox. I guess I gotta build one more sawhorse like those. See if that will work. We might be in business. I think. It doesn't slide off on me. Here we go. It worked. It worked. There, just like that. There, that sheet is all rolled down with little physical labor. Now I'm going to figure out where to put them. And I think we're going to go right back there on that pile. Small shop. There we go again. Small shop. It's challenging. You kind of shuffle things around a lot. But let's do that right there. There. Yeah, I think we'll leave them there for now. So, well, no, I can't. Yeah, I can. Yeah, we got our other 2 sheets over here already, so. Okay. We're cooking. We're cooking. Okay, I'm gonna slide this back so you can keep seeing me spray. It's pretty simple. She's a beast. Very, very, very heavy. But saves a lot of work. There. All right. Now we need a sheet of laminate. And there too, the rule of thumb, always grab your sheets, keep that hump. Don't grab them the other way where you can buckle it, because you'll get a cracked one down the middle, guaranteed. Jeepers. I gotta get a shirt off here. That gets you warmed up. And it's not race day yet. It's not far off. Fridays, it's usually race night to go watch the races, so I got my shirt on anyway. Okay, that can go there. Now we gotta blow this off. And getting back to the laminate, the brands of laminate that are out there, I guess my favorite has been Wilson Art and Formica. That's my 2 favorites, but then there's Pine-Nite. Quality, I think quality they're so close. I don't think you could find any difference in them really. But Pionite, Wilsonart. There's a couple other brands, 3-4 other brands out there too. But these are, I don't know. I've been using these forever. And Wilsonart, Formica, Pionite, great. They're all, I'd say they're all equal, but Wilsonart is my favorite. If that makes sense. So, all right. Now, I'm gonna take the camera down here where I'm spraying so you can see the glue going out. You might enjoy that part. Yeah, you can't see it from here, so let's go this way. What if we tried that there? There. Now you can see the glue coming out of the gun and so forth. So okay, we're clean, we're good to go. That air compressor is going to kick on again. I know there's aren't any ears. Okay. We'll do it the same way as the other one. And what I do, I split the sheet in half. You know, I can't reach over the long direction very well to get a nice coat on. I'll come in halfway through, start, and finish out from there. I do have to turn my wall fan on though, because there is a little bit of an odor to this stuff. We never took an air nozzle back then. Why, I don't know. We had to have air nozzles, but we always relied on these. That's not guaranteed either. But I don't know, that's the difference in time here. Now we're going the opposite direction. You see why I got the cardboard on the floor again. Otherwise this glue will be all over my concrete and you can't sweep up very well. And also getting back to building residential, typical cabinet versus commercial. You notice the last few jobs have been all residential. Now you jump in commercial. And that's what I like about being a woodworker. I've got a variety to do all the time. So, and my theory was, if one end slowed down because of economic times, the other one always seemed to be there. And then also, my contractors know that I do work for. They know I'm good at both. And once you get good at both, you will do this all the time. I got some great customers, I'll tell you. Great customers. I'm going to let this dry a few minutes or a minute or so. But this is working out really well. Sometimes I've had things positioned different for spraying, and I wasn't quite sure what I'd do on this project, but this worked out great. Bring the cardboard over. I kicked the four-wheeler outside and covered it up. And doing the spraying here, pushing through the roller, and yeah, worked good. Oh, and my race shirt. I think this is Todd Frank. I believe he races out of Iowa somewhere. I like Todd. He works hard at it. He works very hard at it. Well, they all do. All these racers work extremely hard. It's non-stop. We did it for probably 5, 6, 7 years, and it's your whole life if you're a dirt track racer. It's your whole life. In the off season, in season, you seem to miss a lot of weddings and different events because of race season in the summer. But it's great. It's fun to go watch these guys now. Now I don't spend any money on racing. It's just buy my ticket to get in and a couple bags of popcorn and a cheeseburger and a soda. So don't drink any beer either. Soda is fine for me. Not a problem. But if you get time this summer, wherever you're viewing from, go check out a dirt track. I tell you, it's a blast. It's a blast. Okay. There, we're dry. We're ready to go. Well, let's try this again. Just, I'm going to overhang it here again, so I don't forget one. I get jabbering here. It's easy to forget something. Bear with me. Now those get back to the sawhorses, I did 2 or 3 videos. I think 3 videos on building your own sawhorses. And if you want to learn how to build your sawhorses, I got a great design. Great design. And it will hold a lot of weight. You're all locked in. It will hold a lot of weight. So. All right, let's try this again. Okay, here we go. It's always a trick, especially to get down here. Pop it on. Come on, baby. Don't be stubborn. Back in the day, we would lay up probably 25 of these on a project. That's when I had employees with me all the time. And then I'd have one guy in this end helping me stick all of this. There, you got a reveal here. You lucked out. Again, I'm going to lift this up. Now you can see why these got to be clean. They hit the floor really clean long. You don't want to chip. Then get on them. Roll it down partially. Like where I set it down to, I blew off the top of those horses so there's no debris on there that they can pick up. Doing this live thing, I really enjoy doing it for you. We're working towards a Patreon type service for going live once a week on Fridays like this. It'll be a little longer when we go that route. I'd like to do it for like 8 till noon, 4 hours. And then we can get a little support from our customers on their end while they're learning some tips. We want to support the Let's Build here and the business. So that's the goal. But my first goal is I can show you and teach you guys and gals some stuff that you weren't aware of in this field. I like to advocate for small cabinet shops. There's a ton of them around. Instead of going to your box stores and buying their products, I'm not going to mention any names at all, but support your small cabinet builders. So you'll get a fine product, very fine product. Okay, now we got to roll Big Bertha out here. Maybe I'll post the camera back a little ways here. Let's try that. That'd be a great angle for you, for it coming through the machine. But if I didn't have that Big Bertha there, this is what we'd be using. I had this on a video a couple days, 3 days ago. This is what the J roller is. And this is what it does. If we didn't have that, we had to do it by hand. Well, here you go. You just continuously do this. The whole sheet. What I would do is cut this sheet in half like this. Roll it down like this. And you also got to be pushing down with your left hand. You want 30 pounds of pressure on this roller. You can't just roll the roller and make it look like you're pushing. But we would roll the whole sheet that way, and then we come back and do it the opposite, like this. So you can see why we have Big Bertha there. It saves a lot of muscle. It's a good workout, believe me, if you're pushing on it correctly. It's a heck of a workout. how it was done for years and years. In some shops, they probably still have to do this. But as long as you roll it correctly, you'll be great. There'll be nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But some guys, they don't put no pressure down here. They don't push. You got to lay into it. And I was told them, if you don't get some bloody knuckles or something once in a while, you're not pushing hard enough. So that always works. All right. Enough of the J roller. Now we got to get Bertha's slewed out of here, which is pretty easy. Handy dandy toolbox lift here for height. And it worked. Okay. Let's fire Bertha up. I don't know why that takes so long to kick in when I flip that switch. It makes me nervous sometimes that it's not going to start. I don't know. Get that far. Here again, one man. Oh, the solvers. Nice and small. We've got to back up here. It's so heavy out here. The sheet is going down. We'll fix that. There. I think that'll do it. Well, one little hiccup. Not bad. We're doing all this. There. Almost got it. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I'll turn this camera. And we will slide it off to the side. Now we want to be careful we don't scratch it. I think I'm still missing a setting on my camera for comments. But I don't see, can't see anything there, so I got the horizontal thing figured out though. That took me a little while, but I'm not young doing this, so bear with me. But I'd like to be able to see comments, you know, people chatting back and forth. So I'll dig into that and see what I can figure out. Okay, now we'll move the camera back. Different view here. And we gotta shut Bertha off. Try that. But what's the weather like? And somebody asked me a while ago here today. In Cameron here it's 22 degrees and cloudy. Not a nice sunny shiny day like normal. The last few. 22 degrees, kind of chilly. Can't wait to get spring here. It's been a long winter. There, earth is out of the way. And Friday, jeepers. Friday. Well, one more sheet to lay up when we start cutting. So we need another sheet of laminate. Keep the hump in the middle up. There. Gosh darn, we're really cooking here. I like this. So, time to blow it off. And myself. Sometimes working with this stuff, you guys want to keep those chips off your clothing too so it doesn't fall out. When you see me do this, I just don't want anything going on the sheet. Getting back to racing here, all the mall shows coming on here shortly. Everybody's got the cars ready to go, they're all wrapped and all their sponsors on. And, that's always a fun deal to do. Go to your local mall and view all the cars. Meet the drivers. That's probably the best part. Okay, we're clean on that surface. Okay, we'll do this one the same direction. See, I keep my hose down on the ground. Sometimes I gotta drag it over the top while I spray it. I hate doing that because there's a good chance of something falling off these hoses laying on there. So it's working really good right now with this setup. Got enough pipe here and it works good. That wall fan or whatever you hear running works great. Pulls everything out of here for fumes. I know some shops don't have those. You know, it's not good, but the one I have here works absolutely great. Works great for everything. It's an explosion-proof fan. So it's up the close. And let the sand through my sandy liquid. Spray blaster, water base, whatever you want to spray. Just pulls everything out nice. As long as you're using a careless type sprayer, then you won't have that big burst of overspray. If you have all that overspray going around, it won't work. I was working with that. You gotta take care of your health. There. Okay. mentioned a few weeks ago, you want to send me an extra large shirt or a 2X shirt, I'll wear your shirt for filming. No politics though. I want to stay completely away from politics. But I gladly sport your shirt. So you can ship that by the post office too. Kind of hope some of our viewers are from our local high schools where they have woodshop classes. I hope they see these videos. It's a great tool to learn from. I've been in this business 50 years, and we keep this. This is a clean channel. It's clean. Just so the students want to, or staff wanted to show it to the students, by all means, I'm sure they can learn a lot. Tech schools even. There too. Got a big one in Rice Lake. I'll move this in a little closer for you. Thing is noisy. I hate it when it does that. We'll wait just a little bit yet. Now you probably see my steel spraying tanks back here. I mow lawns in the summer, a day and a half a week. Been doing that for about 7 years now. Got a great customer. I think I mow like 32 or 35 units for her, and super great customer. I love working for her. It gets me out of the shop a day and a half, so those are for killing some weeds in the driveway cracks. All the driveways are concreted, those cracks. And you gotta go around and keep the weeds from turning through those cracks there. And behind the houses, we spray a little bit behind the houses for weed control. So I got one for driveways and one for weeds around the back of the buildings, kind of thing. That's what those are for. Trying to upgrade my mower. I run these zero-turn cadets, not the really expensive ones, the medium range, 54-inch. Works great. They trade off about every 3 years or 2 years, something like that. So, yeah, I enjoy it. And I get to meet a lot of nice people. All the tenants that rent, there's some great tenants. I really enjoy that. I get water brought out to me, or they'll bring Gatorades out to me on the super hot days, or they just come up to visit. But that's the fun part of it. Just relax and come on. Yeah, let's chat for 10 minutes. Yeah, it's 10 minutes, but that's okay. I like to visit. I enjoy doing this. Makes my day. I gotta grab one more sheet. Put some extras down there, because that's the touchy corner where you slide your sheet down real quick that they like to slide off. I'm gonna grab one more here. So that's our slip strips. That's what we call the slip strips. It's a 1/2 inch dowel. 49 inches long, 50 inches long. Okay. Well, we scored an A+ on the first two. I hope this one goes the same. Everyone's a challenge when you're by yourself. Always a challenge. That seems to be the key. You kind of flop it down. You don't want to do it like this. But on this laminate project, for this dental clinic, I've got lots to show you. This is just the beginning of what it's like in a small cabinet shop behind the scenes. That's what my goal is, to show you guys what it's like. So we're living a dream right here. Okay, we're all good. We got a reveal here. Lay it down. Temporarily push it down. This is stuck really, really good right now. Don't even be impressed. Now you can see why these strips have to be clean. Because when I'm dragging them off, if there had been a chunk of laminate or a chip on there, you know where it'd be. Under there, and you have it all. If you're just starting out doing it, it's going to happen. I'll guarantee it'll happen. But you'll learn eventually the do's and don'ts. I guess that's with everything. feet off. That's the main pick up something there too. Okay. Now we got a little bit of an issue. We got to raise this end up somehow. I can't get the toolbox in there. So we got to come up with an idea here that works. Move these two up here. That's kind of why I built this years ago. I could store under it and put my laminate up here while I'm doing the project. Now, I think if we put two sawhorses here on top of each other, I think I can bring it up high enough. What's going on with you? An awful lot of noise. So I am thinking, let me move this camera here. What if I had two sawhorses stacked here? Or, gosh, I got these trash cans. Trash cans might be about the right height. We need 34, 35. That might work. That might work. I guess if I turned it this way and have that handle here. I think. We'll see. Oh. Slide. Very good. Challenges of being solo. But we don't get too excited about it. See if that'll work. It's not working like I want it to. Please cover it back here. See if I turn this horse. That might work. There. We might be in business. I don't know if you can see from there. what I'm doing. Oh yeah, hopefully we're okay here. All right. Okay, we gotta turn it on here. With Bertha going. Yeah, I need 2 more sawhorses built. That'd be the night job. Second shift. We'll give that to the second shift people. There we go. Look, we lucked out. We lucked out. Oof, yeah. There. We got lucky. Okay. I'll show you a little bit more on this tank here. How it works. You would think this gun and this airline hose would freeze up when it's not in use, but there's a knob here. We turn that off. Tank is pressurized somewhat, and then I hook the airline up to the tank here, a gun I should say, right here, and turn the air pressure down on the tank, probably down to about 60, 55, 60-ish, and it seems to work good for a nice pattern. But yeah, that's all it is. These tanks here, these big ones like this, I bet you they're, oh gosh, right now, this day and age in 2026, I'm sure it's all of $1,500 to $1,800 for that tank full of glue. So they're, it's really expensive. Ever since COVID, contact adhesive has just spiked double, if not triple, like everything else. Materials, laminate, materials, just typical materials have doubled. They never have come down. So that's the sad deal of dealing with that COVID thing. That increases my end, you know. So then we have to figure that in. So, but everybody else has to too. So anyway, we got. Let me get Bertha slid back in her parking space here. More room. I bought this roller I call Bertha. I think I bought it 4 years ago. I had to find one out of New York. So it got shipped from New York to here, to Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin. Couldn't find it, anything wrong. You gotta have it. But yeah, shipping was not cheap, especially from New York. And the highlight of it, getting it off the semi. Oh my God, that was a chore. I hired a forklift driver from our local implement dealer, John Deere implement dealer in town here. And they come down quite often and they'll unload some things that need, or like the panel saw here. We had to unload that with their forklift too, but hats off to them that come down and help out. So, well, this trash can, I'm gonna put away where it belongs. So, we are getting back to normal here. Next step is we gotta cut some panels up. And I think what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna end the video, the live video here. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget the DeWalt tool giveaway. This is where you want to send your postcard or index card, or you can put it in an envelope, you know, with your name and address on it, so Mary can pull that out of the bucket over there. But we got 1 week, but it's got to be here by the 28th. I mean, we're drawing on the 28th, so I'll check the mail that morning on the 28th, Saturday, and so that'd be the last chance that I could grab a postcard that's coming in for this drawing. We're going to be doing more. It's just it's a give back for our YouTube channel we started. We enjoy doing this, and we hope you folks are too. So if you're a subscriber, send me your postcard, index card with your name and address on it, and hopefully you're the one that gets pulled out of the bucket by Mary. We'll shake that up and she'll reach in there and pull out the lucky winner. So if it stays in the United States, or if it goes to Canada, that'd be great. If it goes to Germany, it'd be great. If it goes to Australia, it'd be great. It's just cool having all you fans and folks subscribing and following along and watching our content. We enjoy doing this. So I'm going to end the live video here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe button, and have a great weekend all. Take care.